Secure access to an API using OAuth. Log into Bluemix and access your API Connect service. After you have logged into your account, click Sandbox on the dashboard. On the Sandbox catalog page, click Settings. On the Settings page, click Show to see the client ID and client secret. Make a note of these values, as we will use them later on to access your API. Click Endpoints in the left-hand navigation. Make a note of the API endpoint URL. You will need this URL in order to obtain an OAuth token and also eventually to invoke the API that is protected by the token. Click the navigation icon and then click Drafts. On the Drafts page, click APIs. Click Add and then click New OAuth 2.0 Provider API. Name the new API OAuthor, then click Create API. Once the new API has been created, click OAuth 2 in the left-hand navigation. Under Scopes, type Weather in the Scope Name field, and then use the trash cans to remove Scope 2 and Scope 3. Set the identity extraction method to Basic. Then, under Authentication, use an authentication URL and set the URL to https://httpbin.org/basicauth/users/password. Click the Save icon. Click the three-dot ellipsis alongside the Save icon and select Add to Existing Product from the drop-down list. Check the Climbing Weather API box and then click Add. Click All APIs. In the list of APIs, click Climbing Weather. On the design page of the Climbing Weather API, click Security Definitions. In the Security Definitions section, click Plus to create a new security definition. Click OAuth. Enter a name in the name field, such as OAuthor. Select Password for the flow type. Under the token URL, enter the same URL you used for the curl command you created recently to obtain a token. Click Plus to create a new scope and enter Weather in the Scope Name field. Scroll down and get into the Security section. You will now see that the OAuthor option that you just created is available. Check that box. Click the Save icon. Click the menu icon and then select Drafts. From the list of draft products, click Climbing Weather API. Click the Publish icon and select Sandbox for the target. Click the menu icon and this time select Dashboard. On the list of catalogs, click Sandbox. Click the three-dot ellipsis alongside Staged, then click Publish from the dialog box that appears. On the Edit Visibility dialog box, simply click Publish. You see that the Climbing Weather product is now published. Now it's time to test the OAuth 2.0 provider. Create a curl command similar to the one that you see on the screen here. Replace API endpoint with the actual endpoint that you recorded earlier in this session. Replace client ID with the client ID that you also recorded earlier in this session. The OAuth 2.0 provider returns a token. Once again, reissue the same curl command you used previously to obtain a token from the token provider. However, in this particular case, redirect the response into a text file that you can then edit and copy the token out of. From that text file, copy the access token. Now, issue a curl request directly to the weather API, which takes advantage of the OAuth token you obtain. This command should return a climbing weather report.